we strongly believe that the way it is going, towards whole India is towards one nation, one language, one culture, which is strongly against the people of every linguistic nationalities. So whether it may be Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, or Telangana, Andhra, likewise we have many linguistic nationalities living in India, Assam, Tripura. So the way the central government is now acting towards one language, one religion policy, you can see in every aspect. So you can see in terms of bill like this. You can also see the policy like the new education policy. They want to emphasize to learn Sanskrit everywhere because I'm no way connected to Sanskrit because likewise we have a lot of linguistic nationalities living there. So I want to ask this question to the central government uh, to meet the interest of who you are acting like this. Are you trying to meet the interest of people who is a very minority and want to implement Sanskrit everywhere? This means, these are the questions coming up from every leaders. So to avoid this, it is very high time now. I believe strongly that indigenous people should definitely stand up now. This is the high time now. Okay, please, you lost a lot. You lost many rights. You lost your economy. You lost your culture. Sorry. Yeah, political influence, your political rights, everything. So land. So why you are waiting for? These are the questions coming up in my mind. So you have to definitely. This is high time. You have to unite together and stand with leaders, people who are working towards the right of indigenous people like Ms. Phatar Kanya, and fight together democratically. This is high time for us. You are not alone. You should also understand this. You are not alone. The central government's policies are affected to every linguistic nationality. We are also affected. They are trying to culturally, economically, politically, completely, take our rights away. So please, we are all time. We are standing with you all. Our party, Nam Tamil Party from Tamil Nadu, and standing with Tripura people friend. Well, as long as it's indigenous people right, as long as saving of people's right from every part of the Indian Union. Doesn't matter wherever we are. If there is something happening in Tripura, we will also protest there. So we are always there for you. Likewise, we want to collaborate. For all the problems. Like we have a problem with nuclear power plant in south of Tamil Nadu against the will of people. They are extracting methane from the Kaveri Delta, from the land of Tamil Nadu. It's all about economy to improve the economy of some little percentage of people. It's not at all benefiting the larger population, who belong to the land. So that is the pity of the situation, So we all have to fight together and work together and to collaborate and make a good strategy to win against this big problem coming to us. So please don't wait for anything more. We have to work together and we have to collaborate together. We are always standing. Tamil people and Nam Tamil Party and Mr. Seeman, the party coordinator, is always standing with you all.
The indigenous people and the minorities needs to understand is the pattern of big national parties. The policies of the Congress as well as BJP is nothing but the same. So here they want to take away the political rights, the cultural rights, the economic rights, the social rights of the indigenous people and the minorities. In India, the people of Tripura may be a minority, but within Tripura, the people of Tripura are the majority. The indigenous people are the majority in their own local places. The pattern of the government is to have what we call as population shifting or make demographic changes bring in people from outside states who support their ideology, who support their stand. And once those people come and settle down, the power and the bargaining of the indigenous people naturally weakens. This suits the ruling classes of the national level parties. So it is here we need to be extremely wary of the ideas and the designs of population shifting and altering of the demography. Because once the demography is altered, today's majority becomes a minority tomorrow. So we have to be extremely careful about that. So this is where the struggles of the people across the country should be recognized, and the indigenous people have to all come together to fight against the nefarious designs of the ruling party. That apart, last week, I don't know how many of you noticed, in the Indian Parliament, the Anglo-Indians had two representatives. There was a reservation for the Anglo-Indians. So that has been taken away. So slowly, they will touch upon the other groups also. The reservation policy will be done away with completely. So that makes the indigenous groups extremely vulnerable. That apart, when we look at the whole Indian constitutional setup itself, the Indian constitution is not being respected as it has to be. The Indian political system is evolving and completely changing in favor of the rich and the powerful. If you take the railway recruitment as a policy, they are bringing in people from outside. The outsiders are coming inside and taking away the jobs meant for the locals. The locals are losing out. For example, in Tamil Nadu, last year, out of 1,600 people appointed to the railways, only 150 of them were locals. The other 1,450 were outsiders. Is this the pattern we are asking for, is the question. That apart, the imposition of Hindi cannot be accepted, especially by us, the people of South India, because Hindi is not my mother tongue. Why should I learn? When I have my own mother, why should I call somebody else as my mother, is the question. Because indigenous people, like the Tamils, have respect for their own language, have respect for their own culture. Why should we give up our culture? Why should we give up our rights and adopt something else? Because to me, my culture is important. Why should I take somebody else's culture and call it as my own? It is the same with the indigenous people also. The population settlement that is happening here is the same as it is being carried out in different parts of the country. We don't want a country where one language is spoken. We don't want a country where only the rich enjoy political rights. We don't want a country where the imposition of one culture is there. We have to respect diversity and we have to celebrate differences. Differences have always to be celebrated. Every indigenous group needs to have their own sovereign rights. Sovereignty need not mean that only protection of the Indian borders. No. Sovereignty means protection of the rights of each and every indigenous group also. Because in Tripura, if the people of Tripura become a minority, where else will they go, is the question. Because if they move to some other place, their rights are not guaranteed. And it is not their land. Tamils have to live only in Tamil Nadu because it is their right. It is their historic habitation. They are from that place. So that right of every indigenous group has has to be respected because India is a signatory to the UN rights of the indigenous people. India is also a signatory to many other rights like the ICCPR, ICSCR, Child Rights Convention. So in that sense, India has signed very many international agreements that guarantee the rights of indigenous people. So it is here that we are not asking for anything new. All that we are asking is for the protection of the rights of the indigenous people, because here when we demand, the demands are just. Otherwise, in our own land, we will be extinct if this policy of the central government continues.